Bedford, New Jersey. This is the scene just before we came on air. This New York crowd fired up by the arrival of their G-men as they burst from the locker room. They're ready to go as the Giants get set to match up with the Miami Dolphins. It's the final 3 weeks of the season. Still plenty to play for here as we're underway in Week 15. That's fielded in the end zone. And all that work, but he stopped where he ultimately would have been had he simply taken a knee, and that's the 25-yard line.
Where's 52? Watch 52. 52's the mic. Go, tackle, let's go. We got this. We got this.
They'll run with a second-year man from ASU, Kalen Ballage. Dashing through the snow. He's at the 30. 10. And all the way in for a Miami touchdown. Kalen Ballage, his 9th touchdown of the season. And they are able to strike first here on their opening drive. Wow, first play of the game, CD, 75 yards. These people, they haven't even filed in yet from the tailgate lots.
Everyone talks about starting out fast. Everyone talks about getting explosive-type plays. That was absolutely a thunderbolt. And on the defensive side, he spent all week scheming, all week preparing, and it seems like it goes right out the window.
This is fielded a couple yards deep. And the decision to bring it out is going to cost him about 7 yards all told as he's taken down back shy of the 20. First and 10, Dobbs. It's complete to Golden Tate. And mark him down way up close to the 40 at the 39. The end result, 21 yards.
First and 10 at the 39-yard line.
Ready? Mark 59, Mark. Check, 59. You go, night. Some go, night.
Dobbs. That's complete left side to Shepard. And able to rip off a big chunk of yardage before being dropped inside the 40. Good work after the catch. Going to net him 23 and a first.
Check 52.
Dobbs looking to throw on first down. Escaping the pressure right. Throwing the out route incomplete. That's Tate. Now he's tackled a yard short of the marker. Good gain of 9 on first down. A lot of eyes on Golden Tate this year to see if he can take over some of the production that OBJ had before he got shipped to Cleveland. You know, Beckham had 1,000-yard seasons 4 of his 5 years in New York. Golden Tate struggled at the end of last year in Philadelphia, but he had a really good run in Detroit, including 3,000-yard seasons in the middle of this decade. Under pressure, and down he goes. They sack him back at the 36. Jerome Baker make that now 8 sacks for him on the season.
Mike 52. Watch the safety creep. Check 37.
To throw on third down. Dobbs. And he's going to go down again. Nick Perry. He's the one to get him, and that is sack number 7 for him on the year. Charles, a little bit of feast or famine on this drive. They moved the ball okay, but they've been sacked twice now.
And they've got to figure out how to plug that leak a little bit, right? Keep them away from the quarterback because when he's not being hit, as you mentioned, they're moving the ball well.
So that'll back him up 5. On fourth down, here's Brian Anger now to kick this one away. Jakeem Grant back deep for Miami. And just a single punt for him in the loss last week as he sends this one away. And that'll hit in the end zone. Much too much leg there. That'll be a touchback. The offense back out there at the line, ready for their next drive. They'll start with a give here to Balaj, and he'll go down at the 26, following a gain of 6.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
From the 26, they'll line up on 2nd and 4. This is Kenyon Drake, the fourth-year man from Alabama. And he takes us up to the 40-yard line before being corralled. Give him 14 on that one and a first down.
Well, as we've learned over the years, just because a guy plays left tackle doesn't mean he doesn't have run-blocking abilities. And we just saw it there. Controlled the line of scrimmage, created a big gain.
That's kind of a bonus. He's there to protect that high value that you have back under center, but he creates space in the run game.
Yeah, not only can he dance, he can mash, too.
It'll be a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd and 11. They'll try to throw here. Fitzpatrick eluding the pressure right. And he's going to be out of bounds, but not before he takes it inside the 40. A first down there on a pickup of 25.
As a general rule, offensive linemen like to know where their quarterback's going to be when he's setting up to throw the football. But sometimes they just have to get on the run, get on the move. He was able to do that on that play and picks up a first down with a nice throw.
On first down, Drake. Another nice gain, 13 yards that time, and another first down.
But they're getting ready to go to work now in prime real estate after that last run. Found his spot and picked up nice yardage, didn't he?
And now he's got him knocking on the door of the red zone.
Check, 180! Wait! Check!
Now on first down, Drake again. And this time the yards won't come so easy as they'll in fact tackle him behind the line. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be 2nd down.
52 and 56, 52 and 56.
On 2nd and 12, Fitzpatrick flushed out right. And he will take it in for a Dolphins touchdown. Devontae Parker, his 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Dolphins are able to extend that advantage. Great corner route there. Not only able to catch it, turn it upfield, and get into the end zone.
It usually involves a little bit of an extra move, doesn't it? You've got to get them thinking that you're moving to the middle of the field and you're breaking away to that corner. Boy, that was well executed.
This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And the decision to bring it out is going to cost him about 7 yards all told as he's taken down back shy of the 20. The Giants offense at the line, ready to begin their next drive. And down on the scoreboard, certainly needing to avoid what happened on the last drive, punting the football.
Sense of urgency has to take over for them here. They know the score. They know the situation. And by the way, the punter no longer exists for their offense. That's how they have to treat this drive.
They need points.
Big time.
So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on first down. Throwing again. Dobbs. Now the pressure comes and he goes down. Just inside the 10, back at the 9. Jerome Baker in there to get him. And on the season now, that is 9 sacks for him. Trying to get one more in here before the quarter breaks. Throwing on 3rd and long. Dobbs. And he is going to go down. They sack him on the final play of the first quarter. Here's Brian Anger now as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. So a short drop, but he's able to get it out, and this is a good kick.
The Dolphins take over first and 10 at their own 34-yard line.
The offense now at the line, ready for their next drive. And thus far, the weather has not slowed this offense down one bit. They've looked good so far in the first half.
They certainly have. And think back to our meeting with the head coach. And we asked him because we saw the forecast for this game, didn't we? We said, hey, have you prepared for this? And he talked about the different drills that they've done in adverse conditions, the wet ball drills, things of that nature. He said, I don't think it's going to slow us down much. We tend to handle it pretty well, and he's been right.
On second down, it's Drake. And there is nowhere for him to cut back as he's taken down in the backfield. He'll wind up losing 3. And now it's third down.
34.
To throw, Fitzpatrick. It's complete to Grant. And he takes this one down almost all the way to the 30. That one nearly 30 yards, 29 officially.
First down, Miami.
Check. 20. Get him.
On the toss play, this is Drake. Antoine Bethea, the leading tackler among NFL safeties last year, and on the tackle again there.
Hey, 5-0.
4 yards on
On second down now, it's Drake. And he'll be dropped at the 23 after a pickup of about 4.
Back-to-back 4-yard runs. Now, look, if they just do that all the way downfield, ball ends up in the end zone, but that's a little difficult to do.
Yeah, I think now 3rd and 2, that defense ready to stiffen up and stop that run. On the toss, here's Balaj. And he won't be close to a first down as he runs into a wall right around the line of scrimmage. Call it no gain that time, and they're going to be left looking up at a 4th and 1.
Hey, Mike. Right there, Strong. He's coming. He's regular. 29.
They'll try and run with Balaj. He's got the first down inside the 10. And he will take it in for a Dolphins touchdown. Kalen Balaj. His 10th touchdown of the season, 2nd of the game. And the Dolphins are able to extend that advantage. Sanders now to add the extra point. He missed one earlier, remember, but this time he gets it to go. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. The offense back out there at the line, ready for their next drive. And we don't want to call this desperation time, especially in the second quarter, but you're down.
You don't want to.
No, but let me finish.
Okay, my bad.
You're down 3 scores already. You've done nothing offensively, nothing on the scoreboard. That's not a good combination.
I think you just called it desperation time. I think you did. But let's face it, you mentioned this to me in a break earlier in the game. The energy level hasn't been there right from the start. We've noticed that.
The Dolphins get there this time, and they bring him down. Jerome Baker in there to drop him for his 11th sack of the year.
I'm starting to feel for that quarterback back there. I mean, you know me. Normally, don't have a lot of empathy for the QB, right? In this case, definitely. He's been under constant duress this entire game. I don't know how he's surviving back there.
And to think, there's still a long way to go in this football game.
Out. Switch.
throwing on 3rd and long. Dobbs, he's going to launch this thing way downfield. And that'll be incomplete. Well, they took their shot all right, but it comes up empty, and it's 4th down.
Nice play there to force the incompletion. And to me, one thing's for sure. When you're the underdogs and you're playing on the road, you absolutely have to get takeaways. You've got to get the ball from them.
Yeah, win that turnover battle, going to be key. They didn't get one there, but you get the feeling they keep making plays like that, they might just get a few.
Yeah, once you get one, defensive teams think they come in bunches.
At their own 24-yard line.
The Dolphins at the line, ready for their next drive. They are clicking on all cylinders. They seem to be just scoring at will right now, and that's why they've opened up this big lead.
Now, we always talk about getting into the zone, and all athletes are seeking that, aren't they? But everything is working for them. Every move they make works. It clicks, and they are on point right now.
Yeah, they are in that zone that you're talking about.
First down, Dolphins.
So the field flips here as they'll go to work at the 20 now on 1st and 10.
Lucky. Kill.
Now Balaj. And they'll get him down right around the 16. A reminder, once we hit halftime, as we do all season, we'll send it down to Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. He'll have all the stats and scores from games in progress around the NFL.
The best multitasker in the business, the coach.
He will push his way down to about the 14. 3 yards on the pickup. That's going to set up an interesting 3rd and about 4 to go.
Some of the most unselfish players on any football team, defensive tackles, because we ask them to just eat up blocks and allow other people to make tackles. But when he can make a play himself, as we just saw there, that's a big day.
Now throwing on 3rd down there, but he cannot connect. More problems here on 3rd down. They've converted only once so far in this first half.
And you know as well as I do in this league, if you don't win on 3rd down, it makes it hard to win a ball game because then you're relying on your defense, you're relying on your special teams. You've got to get it done with your offensive unit.
The kick by Sanders is good. And that will up the score now. It's 23-zip. So the drive stalls out inside the 15-yard line, but they do get 3.
And I've talked with enough players nowadays, and when they have these types of kicks, that no one says to their guy, hey, that's just like making an extra point, piece of cake. Because the extra point is not a piece of cake anymore. But kicking a field goal from that distance, just give him confidence and let him knock it through.
The Giants offense at the line, ready to begin their next drive. And this not an easy situation. You're down early, in the elements, you're on the road. How do you get the mojo back?
Well, one thing is to remember that as an offensive player, you have a much better idea of what you're trying to accomplish and where you're trying to go than the defender. So in this case, because you know it, you can make your cuts with a little more decisiveness, maybe a second fake, some double moves, things of that nature, to go ahead and try and put some pressure on the defense.
A tremendous play there from Saquon Barkley. 41 yards on the ground.
First down. 1st and 10 at the 30-yard line.
So the big play has them all the way down to the 30 now for 1st and 10.
Watch the boot. 36. Watch twins. Switch. Rush in. Go. Check 15. Check.
They keep it with Barkley on 1st down. 2 yards that time. A stark contrast from the big chunk on the previous play. Throwing on 2nd and 8. Dobbs. And the Dolphins rush gets home. Down he goes.
I'm starting to wonder if this offensive line just simply doesn't like him. I mean, they've given up 6 sacks in this game. He's had nowhere to go, nowhere to run, and obviously nowhere to hide.
And all those sacks in the first half, this is just complete domination. And Tate's got it. And he's got another first down as he's brought down at the Dolphins' 12-yard line. The Giants going to go ahead and use the first of their timeouts as they'll stop the clock with 24 seconds to go in this first half. First trip to the red zone for the Giants. It's 1st and 10 from the 12.
Tighten up, tighten up, tighten up. Mike 5'9".
Back to throw Dobbs. To the goal line, but it's incomplete.
Once you get into the red zone and the safeties have less ground to cover, you'd better be quick with your delivery. Not much space to get a ball in there.
Yeah, when that field shrinks with those safeties, it's almost like there's a couple extra defenders out there, right?
It certainly is. They end up taking up extra space just because there's not enough space for receivers to run through.
Come get some. Come on here. Come get some. Go, go.
On second down, here's Barkley. And he's able to get it down to the 2-yard line. Now the Giants will use the second of their 3 timeouts as they stop it with 16 seconds to go in half number 1. The offense on third down tonight, they've only converted once in 4 tries. They're looking at third in the nose of the football. They'll try to run for it with Barkley. And that'll hurt the average a bit as this time they're able to get him behind the line. The Giants going to burn their 3rd and final timeout as they'll stop the clock with 12 seconds to go in this first half. And the kick by Rosas is good. Remember, with Rosas, there was some speculation last year in the preseason that he might not hold on to his job with the Giants.
But he certainly answered the challenge, didn't he? 32 of 33 during the regular season, 97% that is, and was named to the NFC Pro Bowl team. And by the way, at 6'3", 234, he can bench press your kicker.
Let's go, baby. Let's go.
At their own 25-yard line.
The offense now at the line, ready for their next drive. Time for a final kneel down or a safe run, and then they can head to the locker room with a lead.
Yeah, or they can even run a screen. You know, something they feel is somewhat safe that might actually pop and turn into a big play. That's what you usually run in this situation.
Or go 4 verticals because why not?
Because you're feeling it, right? You're just feeling it.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. This snow front that has socked much of the East Coast not going away as we are back to it in the second half. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And he'll bring it a few past the 20 to the 23-yard line.
Here we go.
At their own 23-yard line.
The offense back out there at the line, ready for their next drive. They have the ball here for the inaugural drive of the second half. Pretty big deficit, though. We'll see what adjustments were made in that locker room.
And I never want to make something more important than it actually is, right? I don't want to create more hype than what is there. But this is a real, I'm doing it, though. This is a really important drive. And we often talk about teams scripting plays to start a game. A lot of them script to start the second half, too. And they're scripting something that they expect to get them into the end zone and back into this game.
We'll see if that script is a good one for them. Now this throw caught left side. Touchdown, Giants! Golden Tate, his 6th touchdown of the season. And the Giants are able to cut into this lead. That's a score you felt they had to have here in the third quarter to get back in this game.
And you know that there was an emphasis on their side. Hey, we know this. We know where we are. But sometimes that binds you up so.
Under a heavy rush, and down he goes.
But they tried to get 2 and ended up getting none because the quarterback had nowhere to go with the ball and ends up getting sacked.
Nowhere to go at all. Great job, though, defensively. They were ready. Now after the touchdown, here's Rosas on to kick it away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And he'll get across the 20 before he's brought down at about the 23-yard line.
The
The Dolphins at the line ready for their next drive. They have the lead here. Well, we talk a lot about pregame speeches. What are halftime speeches like?
For the most part, not nearly as emotional. They're a lot more clinical. Every now and then, though, they'll get after you if they think they need to light a fire. But in this case, let's go into the virtual locker room, because here's what I think happened. They got in there and they said, listen, let's take control right away. Defense, we got the lead. Defense, don't give up any points. Turn the ball back over to the offense and let them go down and score and give us more of a cushion in the game. Check so far. Defense shut them down. Let's see if the offense gets done.
Damian Wilson in on the stop. Third and short yardage, Fitzpatrick. And it's caught by Parker. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. 18 big yards on that one, and a Miami first. On first down, Drake. And he's going to get this past the 50 and into Giant territory. Tackle made by Antoine Bethea.
Third quarter and you've got the lead. You're not ready to go into that 4-minute offense to close the game out, but a running game can really benefit your team right now.
They stay on the ground with Drake. And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35. 12 yards there and a first down. Kenyon Drake, he was kind of underutilized last year when Adam Gase was head coach. Only 7 starts, but now he's going to get a chance under new head coach Brian Flores to really showcase his talent. He certainly flashed his diverse playmaking abilities a season ago. 9 touchdowns, 5 through the air, and 4 on the ground. Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll be second down.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them. On second down, it's Drake. And that play is blown up, losing yardage back at the 35. That's a big loss of 3, and it brings up third down.
Perfectly designed blitz right there. They took that one from the grease board to the field because they were able to free up their linebacker to get into the backfield and spill the play.
We own it. We own it. Check, 93's the mic. 95. You don't want none, baby. You don't want none. Hey, you don't want to see me. You don't want it. Check.
On third down, Fitzpatrick. Flush to his right. And throw right side complete to Parker. 21 yards there on third down.
Sometimes it's designed, and sometimes you just have to know when to leave the pocket and move and make something happen. And that play was able to get on the run and was still accurate throwing the football.
They'll run here with Balaj. And he'll get about 3 just outside the 10, stopped at the 11. They'll stay on the ground. Balaj again. And the stop will come inside the 5 at the 4. A gain of 3 last play. This time they double it and pick up 6.
Looks to me like maybe there's a little attrition setting in with this drive, because when you see that type of a run, I get the feeling the defense gets a little bit tired.
And that's the last thing they need, especially when they look up at the scoreboard. On third and short, Drake. And he is in. Touchdown, Miami. Kenyon Drake, his 6th touchdown of the season. And the Dolphins are able to extend that advantage.
That drive that really increased their cushion felt very military to me. Very precise, methodical. That's one of the words you've taught me. And they just got it done.
And slowly but surely now starting to pull away a little bit. Things looking good for them here in the third quarter.
Not only pulling away, but you mentioned that slowly but surely. You also drain clock, too, with a drive like that. So you really give yourself an advantage.
Fielded about a yard deep. And they'll have good starting field position as he's up just shy of the 40. The Giants offense at the line, ready to begin their next drive. They're down 3 touchdowns to this point, needing to put something together as they have it 1st and 10. They'll try and get this run game going. This is Barkley. 5 yards is the tally on 1st down. That brings up 2nd and 5. From the 44, Dobbs. And he's going to go down. They sack him back at the 42. Nick Perry. Make that now 8 sacks for him on the season. This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down.
Kill. Big Ed. Watch the edge. Switch it. Come on, switch it. Check.
On 3rd down, Barkley. And an alley to run. And he will take it on in for a Giant touchdown. Saquon Barkley. His 14th touchdown now on the year. And the Giants are able to draw a bit closer. The Giant offense going to stay on the field as they'll go for 2.
You got nothing. Shift. Whip. Wheel. Check.
They're going to run it with Barkley. And he is into the end zone again. So get him some oxygen. He scores on the long run and then punches in the 2-point conversion for good measure. Rosas now to kick this one away. This fielded at the 2. And he'll make it across the 20 as his guys will set up shop at the 23-yard line.
The Dolphins take over 1st and 10 at their own 23-yard line.
The offense now at the line, ready for their next drive. Now, there are 2 scores on the plus side. Still time here in this 4th quarter, but maybe you start thinking about playing keep away?
Yeah, I think here's the situation. You're not thinking touchdowns anymore. You're just thinking 1st downs. To keep up with your theme there, playing keep away, 1st downs, they can't touch the ball.
Again, it's Balaj. They'll only get a couple up to about the 30.
Bottom line, they want to keep this clock rolling, so they'll take that one right there. They just want to keep falling forward, and they want to put the onus on the big fellas up front in order to bring this one home.
Hey, Mike 52, come to my work. We want it. Come to my work.
We got 5 over here.
Hey, turn it up.
Now Fitzpatrick. Looking left side, and he's got a man. It's Grant. And the ball is knocked out, and the Giants have it. It's picked up.
Partner, that one looked like it was over. I mean, they had control, had the football, and the defense had to make a play in order to keep them in the game. That's exactly what they did.
And now that door ajar, 2-score game, so hold on here, not done in the 4th.
Buddy up. 59, Mike is 59. Mike the 59. It's coming this way. Here we go. Watch the ship. Hey, watch the ship. What? 6 guys. Check 6 guys. Say. Bang.
A 1st down carry for Barkley. 20. And he will take it on in for a Giant touchdown. Saquon Barkley with touchdown number 15 on the year and 2nd of the game as his guys are back within a single score. Extra point through the snowflakes, up and good. And now things get a bit more interesting here in this 4th quarter.
Giants 24,
Now after the touchdown, here's Rosas on to kick it away. This is fielded at the goal line. And his guys will get the football right at the 20-yard line.
The Dolphins take over 1st and 10 at their own 20-yard line.
The offense back out there at the line, ready for their next drive. Now, Charles, of course, you got to remember, last possession they fumbled. It led to a touchdown. One-score game here. Got to be careful.
And this is where coaching and training really comes into play, doesn't it? What does everyone say after an error? Next play, move on, next drive. That mantra has to come to the front. They've got to take care of business right here and act like the last series just didn't happen.
He got 29 yards that time. Tell you what, he's been able to put the ball in some tight spots all game long. That throw, no different.
Yeah, a lot of people would call it a gutsy type of a throw. I think he looks at it as, I can do it, so it's not that big of a deal to me, and I'm going to keep firing.
So one play, and they're already just shy of midfield.
Hey, D-line, let's get in there. Let's get in there now.
Milage. 7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave him with a 2nd and 3. Now, I'm guessing you'd say this is kind of the key here. Grind out some yardage, work on that clock, see if you can continue to tick it down.
Definitely. You want to bleed things out at this point, right? Continue to possess the football, gain some yardage, and put the onus on the defense. Do they have to use timeouts? What are they going to do to stop you? You're taking charge.
They run it with Milage. And for one of the few times here today, this run's not going to go anywhere. Call it no gain that time as it's going to leave him with a 3rd and about 3 to go.
He's checking.
And he'll give it here to his running back. And he will have a 1st down as they get him to the ground at the 37. Move the chains, a gain of 7 on 3rd down.
He's still rumbling, isn't he? Still looking fresh in this one despite the heavy workload. But you and I both know, well-conditioned, and he did tell us that he thrives on being at his peak late in ball games.
25, check 25.
They'll run on 1st down. Drake. And he'll take this into the end zone for a Dolphins touchdown. Kenyon Drake with his 2nd touchdown of the game, number 7 on the year. And the Dolphins are able to extend that advantage. And the Dolphins will again line up and go for 2.
Under 10, 10.
They'll try and run with Drake. No dice this go-around. He's hit behind the line and taken down.
You know, sometimes the guy on the defensive side of the ball, he just has a good feeling or a good read, and he unleashed his defense on that one. Boy, they stopped him in a big way.
Yeah, I hate to be cliche, but sometimes we overanalyze. They just have more want. Looked like they had more want right there.
More want and more people to the ball.
And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. The Giants offense at the line, ready to begin their next drive. And they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline, because when you score a touchdown, you have to go over and look at the tablet and see what you did on the last drive. When you scored points, it's a whole lot better view than when you're trying to figure out how to fix things there.
And he'll be marked down deep on Miami's side of the field. A tremendous play there from Saquon Barkley. 59 yards for him on the ground.
Watch the twist. Watch the twist. Showing it. Showing it.
At the 16-yard line.
Now Saquon Barkley, and maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. What a difference a play makes. A huge step forward and now a small step back as he loses a yard or 2. Escaping the pressure, and he will take it on in for a giant touchdown. Golden Tate with his 2nd touchdown of the game, number 7 on the year, as his guys are back within a single score. Rosas to add the extra point. And this is back to a 5-point game. Now after the touchdown, here's Rosas on to kick it away. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And he's able to get it across the 20, but not by much, as he's marked down at the 21-yard line.
At their own 21-yard line.
The Dolphins at the line, ready for their next drive. After the touchdown we just saw, we have a brand-new ball game. And now look at the situation. You've got plenty of time on the clock. Defensively, they have 3 timeouts. So do you run the football here, or do you throw it?
I think you have that full conversation with your offensive unit, and you tell them, here's the situation. They've got all their timeouts, so we are not going to play this conservatively. We've got to attack them. We've got to make them use those, gain the ground that we need in order to put this game away. If you think we're just going to run it 3 times and punt it, you got another thing coming.
Yeah, I mean, by the way, also the 2-minute warning in play, so essentially 4 timeouts left.
They have to be aggressive here.
One of the bigger plays in the game thus far, and the crowd getting into it as we come up on a big 3rd down. Here's Fitzpatrick. And look at this. They get the turnover they needed. It's intercepted. Picked off by Kayvon Webster. So, my goodness, I wouldn't have thought this possible not too long ago, but that turnover there means we have a game again.
Yeah, it's been a completely different team here in the second half. I just wonder on the other side of the field where the starters telling the backups, get ready, you're going to get some playing time. And now guess what? Hope they didn't cut the tape off of their wrists and ankles. They've got to go back out there and play.
On 1st down, Barkley. He's got a 1st down and much more inside the 20. 34 yards there and a 1st down.
Another carry for their leader and a good one. It's crunch time. They'll need him to continue to be productive in both the run and passing game in order for them to try and snatch a victory.
Only way to get the lead here, of course, with a touchdown, and that's what they're gunning for on 1st and goal. And Barkley will try to punch it in, and he'll go backwards, losing yardage to the 5.
I know you feel that.
So it's Giants football here as we welcome you back. And they're knocking on the door. 2nd and goal now in a 1-score game.
Watch safety.
Second down and goal. Dobbs. And this is caught. And that could seal it. It's a touchdown.
Wow. I know it's a never-say-never situation. But to me, that looks like that's the one that's going to finish them off.
The score that puts them in front here late, but not. You got to rally your kick team, don't you, and say the last thing we need is a big return.
And what happens is guys get overeager, get out of their lane because they're so excited they want to make the last tackle. You mess up, could come back at you a long way.
So now an extra point doesn't help much. They'll try to go for 2 to make the difference a field goal, and they can lead it by 3. Now the Dolphins going to burn the first of their timeouts. That'll leave them with 2 remaining. We'll be back after this. So now an extra point doesn't help much. They'll try to go for 2 to make the difference a field goal, and they can lead it by 3.
Switch. Check it back.
They're going to run it with Barkley. And he'll get into the end zone. So now a field goal would only tie as they up their lead to 3. Now after the touchdown, here's Rosas on to kick it away. This is fielded at the goal line. And the decision to bring it out will cost him about 5 yards as he'll get this only back to the 20. The offense now at the line, ready for their next drive. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack. And, a crusher there as it's intercepted. Picked up by the Michigan man, Jabril Peppers. And he's able to get it back to right around the 27. He's at it again, Charles. He had the pick 6 last week. Not a pick 6 here, but an interception.
Hey, it's another Oski, because that's the word we use when we intercept a pass. Oski tells your team to rally around and block for you. Well, that worked really well last week because he had made it all the way to the end zone. This week, he got the Oski, maybe not a touchdown, but boy, he's playing really well.
Check.
They'll run on first down. Barkley. And he will take it on in for a giant touchdown. Saquon Barkley, 27 yards. And the Giants use the short field to their advantage as they cash in for 6. PAT up and good by Rosas. And his guys will take a 10-point lead. Now after the touchdown, here's Rosas on to kick it away. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And he will be brought down here at about the 17-yard line.
The Dolphins take over first and 10 at their own 17-yard line.
The offense back out there at the line, ready for their next drive. They might be thinking this is close to a lost cause here. Got to play it out. What do they need to do?
Well, they have a thought process in mind already, but they can't get ahead of themselves. They know that they need to score quickly.
Yep, 2-score game.
Onside kick and get the ball back and then score again, but they can't worry about the last 2 points. The only thing that matters is scoring quickly, then they'll take it from there.
Now, meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted, but it winds up falling incomplete. So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10.
Hey, color.
Now Fitzpatrick. He's got a man, complete. That one covers 29 yards, first down. Clock management definitely critical here if they want to get back in this game.
Absolutely agreed. They have to up the tempo in this case, down a couple of scores. Want to make sure they have a chance to win this ball game.
Fitzpatrick to throw. And the giant rush gets home as down he goes. Lorenzo Carter in there to take him down, and the clock will roll.
Well, that play was the very definition of fast, quick, and in a hurry. Suddenly, he was there.
Yeah, blink of an eye. That happened fast and a big sack.
Check. Gonna go 5-0 here.
Fitzpatrick. Eluding the pressure right. Now a desperation. And this is intercepted. And that should do it. Picked up by Janoris Jenkins. Parker unable to get that one. Boy, what a turnaround. They exited the lockers with a nice lead, and now all of this. What's happened?
So when you start to write your novel, you'll start out with, it was a tale of 2 halves, won't you?
Right, but I'm a bad writer.
I don't know exactly what happened because sometimes teams can go in with a lead and get too comfortable, too relaxed, and a couple of things go wrong, and it's hard to get back that good feeling.
The Giants offense at the line, ready to begin their next drive. It's still 2 timeouts defensively, but even if they choose to use those, 3 kneel downs should be enough to get out of here with a victory.
And that's exactly what's being stated into the head coach's headset. Oftentimes they have a guy upstairs who monitors this at the end of the game. A little clock management 101. Great about themselves, can they? I mean, what a game to put up that number of points, continually feel like they're moving the ball and things are working and clicking.